Hope y'all are doing well tonight. Welcome in. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to do a general collective reading for y'all. And then if anyone wants a paid reading, I can do those after I do the general collective. But y'all will have to read the info in the description box or in the pinned comment in the chat, which my wonderful mod Eternal can tell y'all where those details are. So hi Eternal, hopefully you got it from here, baby, so I can cover this up. So let's get into this, beautiful people, and find out what Spirit wants to share with y'all tonight and go from there. All right, Spirit, what's most important for the general collective to hear tonight? Show me, Spirit. Start this first. Show me, Spirit. What does this pertain to? Show me, please and thank you. What's the overall energy? And of course, give me 2 cards. Is that right? Step by step. Okay. Spirit, what does this involve? Show me. Recent past, Spirit. 10 of Cups. Well, many of y'all have been finding yourselves in a very emotionally stable, fulfilling time of your life, surrounded by family, friends, could even be a romantic partner, all the above. Building something together, but something seems off now with the Hermit card out here. Seems like you're still contemplating if you really are happy, is what I'm picking up. Some of y'all might even feel like y'all are being played for a fool, which, yeah. Clarify, Spirit. Why is this 10 of Cups here? Recent past. Show me. Yeah, feels like someone this feels more romantic. Hate to say it. Someone you have a romantic connection with, at least in the recent past. I feel like there's been addictions, problems pertaining to addictions. It could even be, Spirit just said player, so they could even be messing around with someone else that maybe you're aware of, maybe you're not. And so now you're questioning this connection, which is why you're presently in the hermit mode, going within, seeking those answers. Is this really something you want? Is this really something you want to settle for? Because though I have 10 of Cups in the recent past, the Devil came out with it. And then I can't show you this Hermit card because she's naked. But the Hermit's all about self-discovery, going deep within, searching within yourself for answers. Almost like isolating yourself from the world too, as you're doing it. And the 9 of Pentacles in reverse came out, which is showing me you don't feel fulfilled now. That this one, once happily ever after, which is what the 10 of Cups normally represents, is not your happily ever after now. And I feel like some of y'all feel like you've been played for a fool, is what I'm picking up here. Spirit, what else? Show me. No. Come on, Spirit. What else? What else does the collective need to know about this? Yep, even the Seven of Swords came out, confirmed it. Someone's lying, not being truthful, hiding things, being secretive, being sneaky. With the Seven of Swords, that's all about being deceitful. Secrecy, hiding. Some would even call it the cheating card when we talk about being in a romantic connection. So, which is more reason why you're feeling unfulfilled. So there's either questions of cheating, or it's already been confirmed that there's been some sort of cheating. There's someone else in the picture. And now it's time for you to make this judgment call. Because in the future energy I have is the Hangman in reverse, which is telling me you just don't feel like this is worth waiting for to find out. It's like you already know, like, this is not going to be your forever happily ever after. You're going to find yourself empty, questioning yourself, trying to come up with all the justifications of why you should stay, but Spirit's saying, no, you need to leave and walk away now. Save yourself the hurt and the heartache. That you need to be focusing on your future. Just don't look to this person, whoever this is, being in your life, at least not in a good way. What else, Spirit? Yep, and there's the Moon card with it. I feel like if many of y'all stay, I mean, it might be a repeat pattern because I get karmic energy with this too. But I feel like there's things that you still aren't seeing. I almost feel like even with this Moon card in reverse, I get the feeling of there's still things that are hidden from you. I don't feel like you know all the info yet, and maybe that's why you're holding out on wanting to make the final decision of whether to continue this relationship or to walk away and cut them off like a clean slate. But I get the energy that there's going to be more that's going to come to the surface. And so it's like I asked Spirit what the overall energy was, and these two cards came out. Step by step and sucker. Okay, so this person's trying to play you for a sucker, but it's like you're trying to take your time with this. Really weighing your options, you know, trying to figure out is if this is all in your head, if you're imagining this, or, you know, is it, you know, maybe just an insecurity, low self-esteem, that's making you question possibly this connection. And even, you know, Spirit said for someone out there, this is a friendship. So you have questions about even your friend deceiving you, keeping things from you. They're not being forthcoming. And I feel like you've even drilled them. For some of y'all, I feel like y'all have interrogated this person and they're not being forthcoming. They're not giving you the answers you're seeking, the answers you want. I still feel like they're running. I still feel like they're hiding something else. But I also feel like this is going to come back and possibly replay itself. I feel like you're going to get stuck, though, in the energy of thinking of happier times with the Six of Cups at the bottom, which is all about nostalgia. But then the Queen of Cups is underneath it. So it's like you're, you know, comparing yourself, you know, with this person and with people you've been with prior, or maybe even other possible people who've come forward since you've been with this person. And it's like, you know, even you comparing yourself to saying like, why would this person choose someone else? Or why, you know, why is this a better friend? You know, why is my friend hiding this from me? Why, you know, this is supposed to be my bestie, but I'm not being treated like I'm the bestie. So there's this overall energy of things still being shielded underneath the surface. But I feel like Spirit's going to bring it forward here soon. So if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, I feel like it's going to come out here very soon. And I feel like the overall energy is, I feel like many of y'all have already kind of like cried your way through this, this feeling like, you've been betrayed, and you might just, man, for someone out there, I just heard gold digger. So someone might be looked at as a gold digger. I feel like you're gonna have this nonchalant attitude as the King of Swords that just doesn't, very cold. Just doesn't have any emotions. Like you've already made up your mind to this point that no matter what this person comes back and says to you, I feel like deep inside you know that this person isn't right for you or isn't good, a good friend, a good partner. Even the King of Cups in reverse is underneath it. And that's showing me that that's also about those emotions coming to surface. But I feel like you're starting to turn cold now instead of, thinking of it as possibly being salvageable, which I'm not picking that up. I'm sorry, but I'm not. But let's see. I'll pull a clarity deck just to make sure. Spirit, clarify this for me, please. For the collective. Show me, Spirit. Clarify this King of Swords, this King of Cups. Show me, Spirit. Show me King of Swords first. Please, thank you. Yeah, I feel like you've really opened yourself up to this person. You took a risk. And I feel like maybe for a little while, you felt like this person treated you very well. I almost get the energy of someone almost putting you on a pedestal, but I almost feel like someone would say right now, it's almost like I was not looking for love. I had no intentions on finding a new romantic partner. I'm focused on my career, my hobbies, spending time with my family and friends. And then suddenly this person shows up and it's almost like they put you on a spell, which is why this love potion card's coming out. And then you suddenly thought you found forever, but I don't feel like forever's in this. Spirit, now show me. Clarify this King of Cups in reverse, please. Yeah, I feel like you thought you found your guiding light. I get the energy of, and it doesn't matter the gender, okay? Beautiful people, man or woman, okay? It's just, if I pull out a king, you're showing me more of your masculine energy. If I pull out a queen, you're showing me more of your feminine energy, as we have both. I feel like at some point you felt like this person felt safe and you had faith. I almost even get the energy of, for someone out there, like, you stopped believing in love. You stopped believing love was even a possibility for you. For some of y'all, you might even feel like, oh, I'm gotten to that old age, I'm not going to find love again. No, I'm not going to get married again or settle down with anybody. You thought you had already gone past that age. But now, again, suddenly this person just comes out of nowhere and kind of just takes your breath away. And it felt real. It felt solid for a while. It felt something that was developing. And, you felt this big spark with this guiding light feeling like home to me. But problem is the divine timing card came out, but it came out reversed. Were you meant to meet this person? Yeah, but this feels karmic. This doesn't feel soulmate to me. This feels like a lesson. So, but let me say this, y'all, because I said this to someone else earlier today. Even soulmates, when people think of soulmates, they think of only romantic. And soulmates don't have to be just romantic. They could be platonic, they could be your family. But even when it comes to your romantic soulmates, is there a belief that you could have more than one romantic soulmate out there? Yes. And so you can have a soulmate come into your life, but they're only meant to be in your life a short period of time. However short of time that is. That could be months, that could be weeks, that could be a few years. It's not saying that it can't develop into something serious, but is it going to be your happily ever after? Not necessarily. Many times, they can just come in. It's almost like the karmic, but there's still a deeper connection when it's a soulmate than it is a karmic. So it's possible for some of y'all, this could be like a soulmate, but I feel like there's someone else that would also be the right soulmate, would be almost like the one you're meant to be with forever. This spirit just said it was temporary. It wasn't meant to be long lasting. And I don't feel like that's for everybody, though. I only feel like that's for a couple of y'all. For the rest of y'all, it could turn out this way, too. I'll say this. Could this person come into your life right now to wake you up, to wake your heart up, to awaken you to love again, the possibility of having it again? Yes. And leave your life for a short period of time because maybe either you or them are not ready to come together as one union yet. Because one of y'all, if not both of y'all, have other things you gotta, soul contracts you gotta, meet and such, and come back together later in life. Yes, there is that possibility too. Do I feel like for someone out there that's possible? Yeah, I think there's probably maybe a handful of y'all that could happen. But I still feel for someone out here, this is more karmic. This doesn't feel necessarily soulmate. It feels karmic. It was something, it's just a lesson you're meant to go through. Why are we supposed to go through these karmic relationships? It's to also challenge us for the same reasons a soulmate that's only in our lives for a short amount of time, to help us evolve, to make us grow, to be better people, to really see ourselves like, okay, what do we want? Okay, we see ourselves with this person, with this type of person. Okay, we want this, 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 this. But, if only, like, for an example, to say, if only they were more mature, if only they were more stable, if only they were this or that. And maybe, that's where it's like, well, yeah, I really like you. Yeah, I could see building something with you, but it's wrong timing. So you find these other little nudges in, this person, and you say, but I still want someone who has, well, we'll just say more masculine if we're talking about my ladies, more masculine, more macho. You don't want someone that, oh, someone would call a wuss, we'll say, or a sissy. So because of that, it's like a turnoff, and it makes them fall more into like a friend zone type relationship than it would be long-term romantic. So now you're like, okay, spirit, if you could only just bring me that type of person, but more masculine, then I'll have my happily ever after with this person. And that's kind of like what it is. It's trying to, teach you the things to look for, but also challenge you. Challenge you. Maybe, you find yourself, you're not, I'll throw another just crazy idea out there. Let's just say that you're still like partying, like you're in college, right? So you're out there, with your buddies or your girlfriends, at the bars, drinking all hours of the night. You haven't really gotten settled into being more of a responsible adult. So maybe this person is supposed to come in and kind of like change that, help you come to the realization like, look, it's not to say that you still can't go out and have fun, every now and then, but you're still partying up like you're in your, college days, and we're, adults now. We're in our 30s, our late 20s, 30s, 40s, that kind of energy. So that's what I get from this. So for each of y'all, it's going to be something different because this is a collective, just remember that. I'm reading for an entire collective. So take the messages that resonate here, leave behind the ones that don't, because it's for someone else. So, what do? Well, that's really up to y'all. I can give you some type of advice, but it's going to be different depending on who y'all are. But I'll see what Spirit has to say real quick, just overall. But it's still up to y'all, because there is still free will at the end of this. So, Spirit, show me. First, tell me, why is it important for the collective to hear this right now? I feel like a big tower is coming. If it hasn't come, it's fixing to come in for someone. Tell me first, Spirit, why is this important? Let's get to that nitty-gritty, then I'll get into the advice. Why is this important, Spirit? For the collective to know right now. Please and thank you. Alright. Spirit just said to show you, to teach you that you deserve better. And that right now, you should stand your ground with this person. Because you're showing up as this Queen of Cups. And again, don't pay attention to the gender, beautiful people, man or woman. But you're showing up as this Queen of Cups. Someone who's very loving, healing, nurturing, supportive, compassionate, understanding. And I feel like you were also meant for someone out there. The person you got involved with, you were also supposed to meet them to kind of help heal each other. Maybe both of y'all just gotten out of a bad relationship, or a relationship that just ended that you thought would be long term, but for whatever reason it didn't last. So maybe you were there to kind of like be each other's support system, help heal each other until you both have healed, and to go y'all separate ways and find y'all's real potential partners that's supposed to be your 10 of Cups, your happily ever after. Okay? But Spirit wants you to know it's time for you to stand your ground now with this person and tell them that you deserve better. And that, you deserve at the minimum, not just, their honesty and truth, but also respect. If they have any kind of feelings for you, the least they can do is at least be respectful and give you the truth. It's bad enough if they did have someone else, messing with someone else. But I feel like this is your opportunity to break free from them. Because there's a new opportunity coming in with the Ace of Pentacles. That's going to be your wish fulfillment right behind it. So again, I feel like, depending on who you are, someone out here, I feel like you will give this person another chance. And, I'm not going to say, that you're foolish, you're right, or you're wrong, because everyone's different here. All I'm going to say is that maybe you find that, you feel like this is your one, and yeah, okay, maybe they feel remorseful or whatever, and, convince you of that, and maybe it goes good for a while, and it feels like maybe they finally, like, I don't know, they do something, a grand gesture I pick up. Like, if you're not engaged or married, I feel like, okay, they'll say, okay, well, let's get engaged now. Okay, well, you've been wanting to buy a house. Okay, well, we'll finally go and buy a house if we can stay together and work this out. Or you've been wanting to start a family. Well, we can start a family now, to try and keep you, okay? So I feel like it will be that kind of grand gesture of love offer to try and keep you, to convince you to give them another chance, okay? And you might feel for a while your wishes are being, fulfilled, but I feel emptiness in this at the end, and I hate that. I hate these type of readings, but I'm just a messenger, y'all. Don't shoot the messenger. All right, Spirit. Now show me what else. Why else is this important right now? For the collective to know, please and thank you. There's the Lovers right there. And Five of Wands. Because of the conflict, it's toxic. It's being confirmed. It would be worth fixing for some of y'all if you could look over this. I don't even like labeling it that. just say that they had eyes for someone else. I'll leave it like that. Um, but there's too much conflict here and a lot of hurt with this Five of Wands. You know, with the Seven Wands over here, standing your ground, I feel like if Spirit's saying you need to stand your ground that much harder because of this. Because it's going to be constant fighting, bickering. I don't feel like you'll be able to let it go. Not anytime soon. I almost get the energy, like I tell people, when you find out that your significant other has cheated and or has done something to make you question, and that trust now gets a crack in it. It's just like looking at, you know, a piece of glass or a mirror. Once that crack is there, it'll never be whole again, right? And it doesn't matter how much time. It's not to say that it can't come back, but it will never ever be the same. Okay. It doesn't mean you can't build a strong relationship and be happy. I've heard of, you know, relationships that have done that, but it's always going to be in the back of your mind. Okay. So this is what I always tell people. When you find out that your significant other has eyes for someone else, we'll just say it like that, whether they have someone on the side, you know, had a one-night stand, whatever y'all want to label it as. From this point on, you're always going to look at them and you're always going to question. When they're not in your sight, where have they been? Did they really go to work like they told you they would? Did they really go on that business trip? And then are they talking to that person, or could they be talking to somebody else? And then even if they're right there underneath your nose, you're always going to be watching them and looking whenever they're on that phone, right? Because there's always that question. Are they communicating with that person, or is there someone else? Then comes, you know, the whole questions about wanting to look through their phone. You know, if you haven't been given access to their phone to go through it, you know, not saying it's okay to snoop, but I'm saying if you've been given that opportunity to go through their phone, you're not going to hesitate to go through it. You're going to want to know to help, you know, fill that void or that question and that doubt to make you feel, okay, are they trustworthy? Are they telling me the truth? Or are they still, you know, feeding me a bunch of bull? Okay. And it feels like to me that how are you going to be happy? And that's the question I always say to people. How are you going to be happy? How can you truly be happy if you're always questioning from this point on? Is my significant other being honest with me? Are they being loyal to me? Are they being faithful to me? Or are they really out there doing something that I don't know about? And it's just a matter of time before I bust them. So that's always going to be miserable. And so I don't see how you can build a foundation on that, because the foundation's already been cracked like that mirror. There's that crack in it, and it'll never be whole again. But it's up to y'all to decide. It's free will here, okay? The Spirit's saying that not to trust it, not to go forward with it. But I'll get more clarity real quick. And then I'll pull an angel card, because, yeah, before I get my energy drained out of me more. Spirit, what's the advice? Seven of Swords and the Moon came back out. Okay. Walk away. Trust your intuition. Why? Because there's things you still don't know that will come out when the time is right, because there's still deceit, because they're wearing a mask. It's like they're only telling you half the truth is what I'm picking up. So again, beautiful people, if you're in a relationship where there's questions, where you really have gotten like these red flags that saying, she's talking to someone else or he's talking to someone else. I'm not saying don't come out and accuse him right out the gate, but I would be, you know, wondering, I'd be paying attention to other things. Is there a difference in how they treat you? You know, do they seem to like not come home at the typical time that they would, or call you at a regular time? Like, is there a break in their pattern of how they have been with you all this time up until this point where those red flags came out? And now, if they haven't admitted to there being someone else, do I feel like there still is Yeah, because of this moon card and the Seven of Swords. That really confirms it for me right there. So Spirit's saying, let them go, because there's still things here that you don't know. And I feel like it might be a tower moment where you would really be forced to have to face the truth. Because I feel like for some of y'all out there, you still don't want to face the fact that the person that you've given your heart to or have started, you know, opening your heart up to could hurt you in such a way. And I get it. Beautiful people, understand me. If you're new to my channel, if you haven't heard this from me before, I've been cheated on twice. I was in, you know, serious relationships with both these people. One of them I was supposed to be engaged to. We had already gone and picked out my engagement ring, in fact. So, I understand this. And all I can tell you is what I did. I walked away. Was it easy? No. It was hard. It was hard when I found out they had cheated on me. It was hard to come to the accepting that they didn't love me as much as I loved them, right? So I had to approach it this way. I have to love me more than I love them. I had to put myself first before I put them. I had to make me a priority over them. Why? Because they didn't make me a priority. And their actions told me right then and there how they truly feel. That they really don't love me. Or don't love me in the way they claim. Or the way I thought. So that's how you're going to have to see this now. But it's still up to you. You decide. You know, you're still in control of this. You know, it's up to every single one of y'all. It's going to be different. Spirit, tell me more. Is there anything else you want to tell me about this for the advice? And you know, it's crazy. Before I started streaming, beautiful people, my spirit guides will do this to me, just so y'all know. Many times they'll put a song in my head. And when I say they put a song in my head, it's like it starts when I open my eyes when I first wake up. And the song doesn't leave me. It's there all day. And I know there's a message in that song. And usually they have me do a reading on it. And they were trying to get me to do a reading earlier today. And I just said, no, I can't go down that road right now. You know, get my emotions, you know, in that low vibrational energy. Because this is kind of more low vibrational. And so, you know, I distracted myself to get the song out of my head. And sure enough, before I started streaming, it came back. And there's actually two songs that played back and forth with each other, we'll say, by the same artist. It's an R&B artist from the 90s, Tony Braxton. The first song that came up was Breathe Again. And that's a beautiful love song, and it talks about, if you haven't heard it, I would encourage you to go listen it. You know, type in YouTube, Tony Braxton, the name of the song, Breathe Again, and lyrics. So you can read the lyrics on the screen as the song is playing, okay? So you can digest it that way. And then the song that came in right after that was also by Tony Braxton, called Another Sad Love Song. And Spirit wanted me to do a reading on the second one, Another Sad Love Song. And I couldn't make sense of why. Here it is right here. It's almost like I'm already doing a reading on that song, because that song is still playing in my head right now. Okay? So, and this would have been a general collective love reading on this specific song, you know, and explain to y'all why I'm doing this reading on this specific song, because of what the song's about. And it's about having your heart broken and being shattered, but not able to get this person off your mind. And every single time you get in your car or you listen to the radio, it's another sad love song that's playing that makes you think of that person. It's like you can't break free of them, is what the song's about, if you haven't heard it, okay? So just know that it's like Spirit already had me do exactly what I wasn't trying to do earlier, just because I said I didn't need my energy drained like that just yet. But and I'm fine now, but Spirit's saying, at the end of the day, it's your call. Here's the judgment. I feel like deep within, you've already decided that with this and this, you know, but I still get it's hard. I still understand it's painful. I still understand that, it's hard to digest because you still love this person. And nobody said you don't deeply care or love this person. But it's still earth shattering when someone, just betrays you that way. And it's not easy. It's not easy to get over. It's not easy to walk away from. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it is, because it's not. Because like I said, even though I did it, it made in the way I explain it to y'all, it almost sounds like it was too easy for me to walk away. It wasn't. It was the hardest thing I had to do. But I had to be strong. I had to be strong for me. It wasn't about us anymore, because what their actions broke that. Where we're supposed to be like this, they broke us like this. And I had to remember me over here. So I had to go walk away. And I never looked back. Both of them. I didn't look back. Um, the first one, he reached out to me. In fact, he got someone pregnant. I found out within a couple months after I had found out he had cheated on me. In fact, I found out he cheated on me on Valentine's Day of all days, okay? So understand how hard that was. But the second one, I was supposed to be getting engaged to. Like I said, we had already gone to the jewelry store and bought, or not bought. We had picked out my engagement ring and he put it on layaway. So you could say it was bought. He just didn't take it out of layaway yet. But it was supposed to be coming, right? And he could betray me. Pick someone else one night over what we were supposed to be building, or at least I thought. The only thing I could say to y'all about him is he at least told me the truth. You know, I went over there for our date night because we weren't living together. Um, and he sat me down. He said what had happened. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you for being honest with me instead of trying to lie and pretend like, you didn't do nothing. But he knew it was over. He didn't even fight for me in essence when I stopped and think about it. And he knew there's nothing else for us to talk about. That's exactly what I said. And I got up from that table and I walked out his front door, got in my car, and I never looked back. Never called him again, erased his number from my phone. He never reached out to me. So, you know, so did he really love me? If you want to take aside like him cheating, did he love me? I don't feel like he did, because I feel like if he really did, he would have fought for me, but he didn't. But even if he had fought for me, would I had given him another chance? No. No. I'm worth too much. I deserve better. I deserve loyalty. I deserve respect. I deserve someone to be faithful and true to me. And I'm not a jealous person. And I think that was the other thing that always got me. It's like I've always been okay with my boyfriends having girlfriends, like other female friends. It doesn't bother me. I'm very trusting that way. Some people would call me this for being that way, but that's how I was raised. So I don't have that jealous streak. But then some would say, well, you just set yourself up because you gave them that opening to go and mess around with someone else. No, if someone loves you, I don't care if another person crosses their path who is naked. You might appreciate their beauty. You might appreciate, them and, their birthday suit will say, but you're not going to touch because your heart still belongs to someone else. And the thought of betraying and hurting them is too much in your heart. You can't even fathom it. So there's a difference. So I want y'all to also think of it from that standpoint. I'm not saying this to convince y'all, okay? That's not why I'm saying this. I'm just giving you another perspective, okay? Did I learn from it? Yeah, I did. Did I grow from it? Yeah. Did I get over it? Yeah. And I found love again. But I had to give myself the space and time to do it in. So that meant I wasn't out there going on dates with other people at that point. I had to go through this. I had to almost, in essence, like, my heart, in a sense, was broken, betrayed. I had to cry my tears and I had to go through all those emotions, but I did it with my friends and my family. I didn't go out there looking for other people. I wasn't ready. My heart wasn't open. It would not have been fair to me, because I would have just put myself in almost like a rebound type relationship, nor would it have been fair to anyone who came across my path at that point. So I stayed focused on myself, investing in myself, building myself up, adding, to my life and finding happiness just for me, not looking to be fulfilled by other people outside, of my family and my friends, but be fulfilled by me. Be happy because I'm in this body, because I have this life, because I have these interests that brings me happiness and joy. That's where I found it, and I was able to get through it that way instead of looking to another person to distract me, to get me out of that pain. I know some people out there will say, well, the quickest way to get over somebody is by getting involved with someone else. I mean, I'm not going to say that that doesn't happen, but I'm going to also say I would not do that if I'm just getting out of a relationship and my heart's broken because someone betrayed me. You need to grieve that. You need to mourn that because that's a deep loss. It's a deep hurt, especially if you're in a committed relationship. So just think about all of that, beautiful people. But it's still, the decision is up to you. You decide. You decide your fate. You decide, if you just, want to say to me, yeah, Amanda, I hear you, but I still love him. I still love her. I understand. I'm not going to judge y'all, okay? Understand me. You know, y'all are y'all's own individuals living y'all's own lives. And everybody's response and answer to me will be different. And it doesn't matter what your answer to me is, okay? I'm just giving y'all, just think of it in all these ways. What would be beneficial for you? What do you see for yourself for the future? What is healthiest for you? Did this person really bring you so much happiness and joy that if it wasn't for this other person, indiscretion, whatever you want to label it, that y'all would be like this instead of like this? Okay. But that's only up to you to decide because I don't personally know you, just like I would not know your mate. Have I, tapped into y'all's energy just by doing this open collective reading? Yes. So I got a taste of it. But again, I'm reading for a whole collective, not just one person. So there's all these different emotions. That's why I say it's going to be different for every single one of y'all. Y'all will give me a different response and a different reason why. And I don't need the explanation, beautiful people. I'm just letting y'all know how I see it. So if I were you, if you are wanting to ask how I got through it, that's how I got through it. I knew I deserved better. I knew I deserved someone who was going to love me and only me and not be having me question or suddenly start doubting, or even try to make me jealous in essence, just to make it feel like they are wanted, like I can't live without them kind of thing. Because, let's be honest, some people get, a kick out of that. They get their ego boosted, if that helps build your self-esteem, whatever, okay. But I'm just saying, what is beneficial for you? What can you live with? Can you lay your head down tonight and not want to cry, not want to, curl up in a ball and just, cry your heart out because the person you thought who was good to you, who treated you well, who you thought was loyal, betrayed you, and it's just coming to that breaking point where you come to the realization you got to face this, you know, you've gotten all those red flags, and then there's, this or something else that's finally said yes. There's no disputing it, no denying it. Yeah, and grieve. I'm telling y'all, cry. Cry for however long you gotta cry. You know, write a journal. If you need an outlet, get a journal. Write your emotions down. Lean on your friends and your family. That's what they're there for support. You know, they might even, and let me be clear about this too. Before, let me take a drink of this. If you were to have talked to friends or family about this in the past, and they've already said to you something along the lines like, well, I told you she was cheating on you. I told you he was no good. That kind of thing. Tell them to hush up. You don't need to hear it. Okay? And, they need to be like, you know what? I hate that they hurt you, because I hurt for you because I love and care about you. It's not about, throwing that at you, another sort of like, being the right fighter, okay? They need to be more supportive. So lean on them and just say, yeah, you were right. If that's what they need to hear to shut them up, okay, but they shouldn't act that way because it's not about them. It's about you, what you're going through. You're the one that just got your heart shattered. Your world turned upside down. And you're supposed to be able to lean on them for love and support and comfort right now. So turn to them. You know, if they're a good, friend, family member, they're gonna show up at your door. They're gonna bring you your favorite dessert or a movie and popcorn. They're gonna want to take you out and try to get your mind off of this. They're gonna do something to try and cheer you up and also be a good listener. So don't allow your pride to stop you from being vulnerable with the other people in your circle who have been there for you through thick and thin, like your family, if you're close with your family. But if you have your best friends, lean on them too. Lean on all of them and be vulnerable for a little while. It's going to get better. I can tell you it will get better. It's going to take time. Yeah. But it will get better. And you'll know when you're ready. You'll know when you're ready. It might take a year. It might even take 2 years. For everyone, it's going to be different. For me, it took me almost 2 years before I was willing to open myself up again to another person. So, but that's me, okay? Again, for each one of y'all, it's going to be different. Y'all decide. Your fate is in your hands. I'm just the messenger here. Unless you want a personal reading from me, and then I can read on your energy individually and give you more in depth. That's about all I can give y'all, beautiful people. But let me pull an angel card for y'all real quick. Oh, let's see. Spirit. Oh, okay, Spirit. Show me. What's the angel message for the collective, Spirit? Please and thank you. Show me, Spirit. You got faith. Cloak of protection. You are protected. The worst is behind you, and you are ready to move beyond the challenges that you have been facing. You are safe now. Let go of the old and stop waiting for history to repeat itself. For you are in a new time in which you can create your own story and begin living it. If you feel you are stepping into the unknown, know that your angel is holding your hand, leading you on. And the positive affirmation you can say is, I am safe and protected by angels. I am safe and protected by angels. And I think that's a beautiful message to end this collective reading on. Know you're protected. You know, even talk to your spirit guides, talk to your guardian angels, you know, talk to your past or loved ones. They'll help you, they'll support you too. They'll be there in ways that you may not be aware consciously, but unconsciously you're aware, whether you realize it or remember it or not. But most importantly, you know, if you pray, if you believe in a divine, a higher being, God, whatever name you want to label him by, you know, talk to him too. You know, but talk to your angels and know that you're being, you know, watched over. And anything you go through, it's not going to break you, beautiful people. It only feels that way right now. Why? Because it hurts. And because when you're going in the middle, it's just like going through a bad thunderstorm. We'll just describe it like a bad hurricane, like a Category 5 hurricane. When you're going through a Category 5 hurricane, it's like hell on earth, right? Because everything's getting torn to pieces and everything's flooding around you, right? But eventually, that storm's going to pass and the sun will come out again. So I want you to think of that metaphorically speaking. The sun will rise again. You'll get through this and you'll be fine. But if you need anything else from me, I can't do personal paid readings. I do them on a separate stream, y'all. And this is my, I do it on a separate stream. When I read for people, I want to be focused on your energy and I don't want any interference from anyone else, okay? Other than a couple of my mods being there and anyone else who might be getting a paid reading that night will be there if they're on that list. Outside of that, I don't have any trolls in there because this link only goes to the people who go on my paid reading list. So, in case you want a paid reading, and I just saw a bright, big, huge blue spirit orb over here, okay? In case y'all don't know, I see spirit orbs. You know, I have multiple psychic abilities, but anyhow, I can do that. If y'all want a personal reading, it's $40 US. You would have to send it to either my PayPal or my Venmo. And you would have to send me your email in the notes section because that would be the only way I could send you the link to the paid reading stream. And I will start it like within the next 10-15 minutes after I end this stream. Okay? Just in case, y'all. I also do private one-on-one readings. That's not streamed. You would have to email me for those details, and that's in the description box and in the chat. Pin comment too. So I hope this reading has helped y'all for whom it resonates for. Again, beautiful people, take it if it resonates. Leave it behind if it doesn't. And know it's timeless. So if it doesn't all resonate for you today, it might resonate and make more sense for you down the road. Okay? If you should ever feel called to this reading, it'll be here. Alright? So now I'm going to take this off before, of course, I would break my setup. Way to go, Amanda. Sorry, I gotta tape this. So it stays, because for whatever reason, even though it's supposed to hold a freaking phone, it's not that strong. So, alright. And thank you, my wonderful mod, Eternal. I appreciate you, baby, for being here. So, with that being said, beautiful people, if there's anything else y'all need from me, y'all can go ahead and send it over to me. Otherwise, my beautiful people, I'm gonna say goodnight to y'all. Okay, y'all have questions about my readings? Peter, yes. To answer your question, I can tap deeper into it. Yes, I can. I got more decks than I know what to do with. Is that right, Jimmy? Oh, I'm sorry. You would never be that lucky. Oh, and I'm never that desperate. Let's get that straight. You must be another 2-incher. Must suck for you. So, but anyhow, aside from that, yeah, I get that, Peter. Very true, Eternal. You can love someone, but not be in love with them. There's a big difference. So, I get it. All right, my beautiful people. So, unless there's any more questions about my personal readings, I'm going to jet y'all. Because I got to get, if I don't have any paid readings, I got to do my recordings for my paid memberships. For all my members who pay for a membership on YouTube or my Patreon, so. Yeah, okay, big, whatever. You don't make any sense. There's nothing in here about Snapchat. You sound like a troll to me. Oh, darn. You really think I need you to subscribe to me? No, I really don't. So here's something for you to know, big, whatever your name is. The people who are meant for me will never pass me by. They're going to connect to my energy. They're going to resonate with me. And they're never going to, you know, not just say, oh, I'll sub to you if you do this or that. Yeah, it don't work that way. Good try, though, buddy. Maybe next time. Maybe you'll find another sucker out there. Acting a fool. Alright, let me sort out these cards. Y'all can keep talking for a minute while I sort out these cards, because I got to put all my decks back where I had them. I didn't realize I pulled out that many freaking decks. Of course, I always do. Alright, there, 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 there. Well, maybe I'll put this in one pile first, why don't you? Then, move on to the next. Oh, Eternal, I guess we still gotta work on my, emojis. We need that one emoji for, like, see ya bye, as y'all like to hear me say. Because that's what I would have said to that other guy, whoever the heck he is. Yeah, he's just a quick... Oh, Spirit, you're being mean now. I didn't say that. Boy, my spirit guys are spicy too. They sassy. Alright. Okay. Oh, Ann Williams, sweetheart, if you would like a personal reading, sweetheart, my mini readings are $20 US. A more in-depth reading, which is a 5-card spread with clarifiers and multiple oracle cards, is $40 US, sweetheart. This is my business, so. You're welcome. You know, Rob, you would never be that lucky. And I ain't that desperate, buddy. You don't need to know if I have a top on or not. But you know, I mean, I would think if I was topless, I'd probably get banned. But, you know, hey, that's just me. But you never know. I don't know. Use your common sense. But then again, as they say, common sense ain't common no more. See ya. Don't mess with me. I'm too sassy for your own good, buddy. And you ain't got the time, and you surely ain't got the money to cash them checks with, buddy. You keep trying, though. Today don't look good, and tomorrow just don't look any better either. Or next year. So, you never know. All right, my beautiful people. Well, I reckon it's time for me to say goodnight. So I can get the rest of my work done. And then, I don't know. I don't know when I'll be back. I'm going to keep y'all on y'all's toes. Y'all ain't going to know the next time I'm going to show up. So, I'm going to keep y'all guessing. Only my Patreon and YouTube members will know. Because they pay to know. Ain't that right, Eternal? So, beautiful people, I'm gonna say goodnight and sweet dreams. See y'all next time. Be well. I'm gonna send y'all away with many blessings, love, and light till next time.